Where is the best place to start your travel life in Scotland? Is it Edinburgh with its iconic castle? Or Cranlarrick in the middle of nowhere? By the end of this video, you're going to know where to start your travel life, as well as some fantastic locations that is going to be on your bucket list of Scotland. Hi, I'm Sean Brett, and I've been travelling around Scotland for over 6 months now, and I've seen some amazing places, but I'm nowhere near done. Scotland is one of the most diverse places in the world. One second you could be in a built-up city, the next in an open landscape with nothing else around you. Can make it very difficult for you to pick the perfect location in Scotland, as well as the fact of stuff like, do you go somewhere in the summer or the winter with its snow, or do you go somewhere that's absolutely beautiful, or do you go somewhere that you can make some money? With all those things to think about, it can make it feel really overwhelming, but really it's not. Just remember, wherever you start your travel life, you can move, you're traveling. But saying that, I'm going to give you the perfect location no matter what your motivation is to travel Scotland. For you guys that are looking for the most beautiful location in Scotland, this is for you. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Beauty for me is in its untouched locations, its landscapes, like the Munros in Glencoe with the snowy caps, or its lochs with or without monsters, or the views just off the beaten path. That's the beauty for me in Scotland. But for me personally, the most beautiful part of Scotland is its changing landscapes. For example, I spent the night in Glasgow and then moved up to Loch Lomond, and seeing that change in landscape, it looked like someone had put a fake background on Scotland. It just looked magical. You might find different things beautiful in Scotland than I do, so I'm going to give you a very big range of list of places that are beautiful in Scotland. Edinburgh at night, it's just fantastic, especially Dean's Village. Galloway National Park, with its untouched beauty. Apparently it's one of the most untouched places in the whole of Scotland. Glencoe, as I mentioned before, with its beautiful peaks. I climbed up to the path of Glencoe and the views were incredible. Narn's actually got some really nice beaches. It's one of my favourite beaches in the whole of Scotland. You wouldn't think Scotland had nice beaches, but there you go. That are wondering, should I start my journey in the summer or the winter? The summer and the winter are completely different in Scotland. For example, you can go to Edinburgh in the middle of summer and have a lovely drink in a beer garden. In the winter, you wouldn't want to do that, but you can have a nice hot toddy in their Christmas markets. You get to see a different side of the city. That might just sound a very specific thing to Edinburgh, but the whole of Scotland's like that. With Glencoe being in the summer built for hikers, and in the winter being like a ski resort paradise. If you're planning to travel in the winter, then I would recommend going to places like Glencoe, Glenshee, Nevis. They're brilliant ski resort towns, and you've got the Cairngorms as well. Brilliant, perfect for the winter. In the summer, to be fair, you're pretty much good wherever you go.
no one night stands in this place.
No, you can have one night stand, but you just have to book it first. For you guys that are not sure if they should stick to the iconic stuff or see the hidden gems, Scotland is full of hidden gems. It's one of the reasons why Scotland is so fun to explore. A hidden gem in Scotland could be something as little as a breakfast. A breakfast in a brilliant cafe that no one recommended you and you just found it. It could be the waterfall, or it could be a whole town that's just not really spoken about in Scotland because it's overlooked by its bigger neighbouring town. The most iconic things in Scotland are obviously its capital with its castle, its loch with its monster, and its road trip, the one that goes 500 miles, the North Coast 500. But obviously there's a lot more things than these 3 items, especially as Edinburgh's castle don't think is as good as Glasgow's city. I don't think that Loch Ness is as nice as Loch Lomond. And the North Coast 500, there is plenty of road trips you can do around Scotland, not just that one. I'm not saying don't go explore Edinburgh, don't go see the North Coast 500, or don't see Loch Ness. Go see these places, but make sure you find your own hidden gems. Whenever I find a hidden gem in Scotland, I write it down on my website. Here's a couple of my favourite hidden gems. The Pat of Glencoe. Not quite a Monroe, but it's a fantastic view of the whole of Glencoe. The Woodland in Roth. It's a little accommodation that we found on Airbnb, and it's brilliant. It's the perfect getaway in the middle of nowhere. The Big Feed in Glasgow. To some people it might just look like a massive warehouse with food vans, but to me it was great because you could explore different food from all around the world, as well as some of the best Scottish food that I've had. Bruce's Stone. This was found on a random trip to Galloway's National Park, and I stumbled across this beautiful area of Loch Troll. Perfect, a must see. And the Hermitage, which is next door to Pitlochry, but it's barely ever spoken about. This is a beautiful location. A lot of these places I've just mentioned are on my YouTube channel, so check out the videos. But if you want a full list of my hidden gems, then check out my website. The link is in the description. This is for you guys that want to know the perfect location so you can work and travel. There is a lot of factors that come into work and play when it comes to Scotland. But the biggest thing I can recommend for you guys that are looking at working and travelling in Scotland is to do a seasonal job. A seasonal job is perfect because the competition for the job is much slower because no one who isn't travelling in Scotland wants to live in nowhere. I did this. I worked in a hostel in Cranlarrick, which was perfect because it was in the middle of nowhere for most people. But for me, it was a whole new area to explore. Just up the road I had Oban, I had Fort William, I had Glencoe. These places are quite difficult to travel to if you're in other parts of Scotland. For me, they were day trips. They were an hour down the road. I can go down there, explore it, come home. I worked in the hostel for the season. I had a bed, somewhere to eat, somewhere to sleep, and day trips, as many as I wanted. And I wasn't too far from the city. It was about an hour or 2 to Glasgow. So there was that as well. If you're looking for a job that's a little bit more long term, then I advise going to a city. For you guys that want to know where the best seasonal work is for summer, then look at farms, look to Fife. And if you want to look for like hospitality jobs, cafes, hostels, restaurants, pubs, then look down the West Highland Way. There's a massive route that goes from Glasgow to Fort William, and there's so many jobs that go during the summer. For you guys that want to work somewhere seasonal in winter, then check out all the ski lodge places that I mentioned earlier. For you guys that want a little bit more information about travelling in Scotland, as I said, I've been travelling in Scotland for over 6 months now, and every time I travel to a new place, I will document it either by YouTube or I'll write an article. YouTube videos are a little bit more about an area or a place, where my articles are normally a bit more about how to travel Scotland. So if you want to find out more places to travel, then check out my YouTube channel. And if you guys want to know a little bit more about how to travel Scotland and how to find the best hidden gems, then check out my articles on my website. thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe.